Dear students, good morning. So, the last topic for this semester for the subject compensation management is executive compensation, which is part of Unit 4. So, let's jump into the topic. The first question is, what is executive compensation? Explain its importance and objectives. So, executive compensation is the monetary and non-monetary benefits that are given to senior management or executives of a company. So it includes everything that is given to senior management people. It includes salary, perks, incentives, insurance, company shares, and other benefits. It's important that the executive compensation is good because executives are the people who give the right direction to the organization and thereby increase shareholder value. So they are going to be the drivers who are going to direct the company. So it's very important that they are motivated and they feel one with the company to take it in the right direction. See, executives also take some very tough decisions and they also take a lot of risk. Their status and all the accomplishments that they have had till date, which qualifies them to become executives, then that is at risk because there are certain decisions it may backfire, certain decisions it may be very successful, some decisions are very tough, like removing a key personnel who's probably has become a liability. So such decisions when executives have to take, obviously it's not easy, there will be a lot of sarcasm. So the compensation has to also ensure that it takes care of all these factors. So, and when a new executive joins a company, especially when there's an exit of the old one, there is always suspicion. The junior level people are not very comfortable. So, it is a little complicated. So, it is very important to keep the senior management or the executives motivated. So, the compensation package has to satisfy that also. So, when executive compensation is planned, some of the objectives include making executives feel one with the company and making them comfortable so that they start taking decisions. It's important to retain and attract executives, and the objectives also include motivating them to work harder, not only for themselves, for the entire organization, and not only uplift themselves but also ensure they have the second in line and other junior managers also catching up with their planning, with their execution, their ideas, and so on. And it has to also, the objective of compensation planning for executives should also ensure that it is at par with what the executive deserves and what value add he brings in. Of course, one very important thing that has to be ensured is that it should not affect the shareholders' worth. I mean, it should not be like the compensation should not be so huge that it starts affecting the shareholders in some way or the other. Executive compensation packages are usually designed by the board of directors, particularly by the compensation committee, which generally consists of independent directors. And there is no fixed norm while designing executive compensation, except for keeping these objectives in mind. Uh, they generally don't go with a fixed structure the way it is for employees, and there is enough room for flexibility to attract the right talent. In general, executive compensation will include the below components: base salary, so the standard wage paid to executive that typically is the largest share of the annual compensation package. Besides that, we have bonuses. Bonuses are also short-term incentives, and they are for achieving small milestones, annual milestones, or achieving certain goals. And this is also rewarded by way of cash. Then there are long-term incentives as well. So long-term incentives generally would include, it is generally connected to equity or enterprise value. So stock option is a classic example. Stock options give employee the right to buy a number of shares at a fixed price for a defined number of years in the future. So executives are many a times pulled into stock options. It encourages executives to do what is best for the shareholders, since executives are themselves shareholders. Of course, it also provides companies with tax benefit. Thus, the owners are incentivized to offer this to employees in general and to executives in particular. Restricted stock is the other long-term incentive given. So restricted stock gives employees the right to acquire or receive share by gift or by purchase once certain restrictions are met. Certain restrictions like working for a certain number of years or meeting some performance target or something. So if an executive completes 10 years successfully, maybe he is awarded this, that is restricted stocks. Then there is also something called a phantom stock. So phantom stocks are basically deferred payment or deferred bonus payment to key executives. Phantom stock pays a future cash bonus which is equivalent to certain number of shares at that point at the market price at that point in future, or maybe they agree to terms and conditions today for future payment, or sometimes it is also equal to the increase in the equity value of the firm. So increase in the equity value of the firm after a certain number of years. So that is used as the basis for calculation of bonus. Generally it is paid out in cash. Sometimes shares are also given to employees. Okay. Then there is also something called stock appreciation rights or SAR. So stock appreciation right is also very much like a phantom stock, except that it provides a right. So phantom stock doesn't provide a right to demand cash payment. Okay. Whereas in stock appreciation right, it provides a right to seek monetary equivalent for the increase in the value of number of shares over a period of time, or increase in the equity value of firm. So usually phantom stock is also paid out in cash, but it could also be paid in shares depending upon whatever decision is taken. But stock appreciation rights give rights to the executive. Okay, besides these long-term incentives, the other benefits are also provided on an annual basis, like health and life insurance, contribution plans, paid vacations, and there are some prerequisites granted to employees like a company car, a company housing, a business paid cell phone. So these are all granted to an executive. Then there are other forms of deferred payment which include retirement benefits and other benefits to supplement retirement plans. Okay. Then one more component of an executive salary could include something called a golden parachute. See, since an executive takes a lot of risk and a lot of decisions, which could go anyhow, the executive is also given a coverage in the form of golden parachute. That is, in the event when the company is taken over by some other firm and executive has to leave or is terminated as a result of merger or takeover. So these golden parachutes are basically lucrative surveillance packages linked into the contracts of top executives, and that compensates them sufficiently when they are terminated. Okay. Now the next question is a short note on bonus. So what is bonus? Bonus is the extra payment or financial component which is received as a reward for doing one's job well. It usually comes along with the employee salary, and it is basically a gesture of appreciation from the organization for employees' performance. So it is not just given for a job well done, but to also motivate employees to be focused. The amount of bonus generally depends on company's profitability. Now there are certain types of bonuses. One is performance bonus, which is directly linked to the employee's performance. Many companies have quarterly awards given out, yearly awards given out. So employee of the year, employee of the quarter. So these are all some common awards given out. Then there are festival bonus. This is typically associated with an occasion or festival in the local location, like Diwali or New Year. Okay. Then there are referral bonuses. So if a company has a referral program, then on successful referral, the existing employees can be given a bonus. Usually after the person who is referred to joins the company, generally they will watch him for 3 months, and if he sticks around, the person who is referred gets a bonus. Joining bonus: when a new employee joins an organization, he or she can be offered a one-time joining bonus. See, typically joining bonus is given when an employee has to move out of the previous organization a little earlier than whatever the notice period defines. So for example, if an employee has accepted a new job and he puts down his papers, generally, if the notice period that he has to serve with the old organization is 3 months, many a times there are options to buy out the notice period. So he can pay a certain amount and he can get relieved within a month or so. So especially when such situations come up, the employees will demand some kind of joining bonus for joining the new firm a little earlier. Okay, so this is one situation. Then we have something called retention bonus. So bonus given as a one-time payment to retain employees in the organization. So if the employee is a key employee and if he is planning to move out, then the HR this side will start planning some retention bonus to retain him. Okay. And there are other types of bonuses also which are given on special events, like 25th anniversary of the company, every employee gets a smartphone. Maybe this is one thing. Then at Reliance, the Ambani's children, they got married sometime last year, early last year. So that time all the employees were given a bonus. They were given some, of course, sweets were distributed, but besides that also the employees were given some other benefits as well. Okay. So what are the merits of bonus? So obviously it's an important component to keep employees motivated, and it's a gesture that shows organization values and acknowledges good work. But what are the demerits? So bonuses in on any day, it's an additional cost incurred by the organization and it has an impact on the profit. And another thing is, since it's not a regular payment to employees and it is not a guaranteed payment, sometimes it increases employees' expectations that they will receive it on every occasion where they accomplish. But if the overall performance of the firm or if the economy is not doing well, because of which the firm is getting affected, so those may not be the years where the company will be able to offer a bonus, and this could actually demotivate good performance. Okay. Yes. So okay, students, please go through the notes. You may be having your pre-final exams in the coming week, so please go through the lessons. I'll also share some papers for you to solve, and for questions which are not covered, if I have not given an answer for a particular question from the paper, then I'll share that as well. And I presume for the first chapter you have all the notes already shared with you. Okay, all the best to you. Thank you so much. Take care.